How much do restaurants cost when you're taking over versus that 650?
Great question because I did it twice now. Okay. Um, there's a place first of all, in Chicago, Derek Tung was looking to open up a slice shop. And he found that there's a pizzeria, pizza maker from Naples named Gabriel Panchi. He licensed his process in his name to a group here in the States. And they opened up a place in Chicago in Wicker Park. Not Wicker Park, I'm sorry, in West Loop, I guess it is. And it did pretty well. They found a space in Wicker Park right by the train, which I thought was a great spot, but it didn't do very well and the pandemic knocked them out. Derek found this space, and as it turns out, this landlord, I think they asked the landlords of these places they built to pay for everything, including the equipment. Okay, so Derek got a lease, didn't have to pay anything. A lot of times you want a restaurant. There's somebody who has the lease already, has equipment, and they try to sell it to you for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Derek was able to get this for free. Just pay
Holy
the
shit.
rent, make a couple of changes, right? He had to change out the oven, and I got wind of it. Now, the landlord there wasn't smart enough to change the locks right away. So these people took out some of the equipment that maybe they weren't entitled to. I'm not sure. I don't, But
That sucks.
I found out that these people also opened up a similar place, brand new, in New Orleans. Okay. All the equipment was there. It was a little bit small. There was no room for a big walk in or anything. All the equipment was there. And again, we just had to change out the oven and make cosmetic changes. And, when all was said and done, it's probably around 250 to do that. If you're really
For
smart,
each
you could do it
restaurant?
for less. Yeah, but you could do it for less. I think it just depends. In Philly, again, the space was 12 years old. It was a beautiful space, just beautiful bones, right? But a lot of the equipment's old, and it's going to wind up breaking. We're going to have to spend money on it. In New Orleans, it's brand new equipment.
Wow.
Things start going after 10 years. So all of this stuff was brand new. So if you could find something like that, a lot of times you have a landlord where the tenant is gone, and the landlord just wants the rent, right? So you don't have to pay key money or anything. There are times when you're looking to find a restaurant. You may be able to find a restaurant where perhaps the owner is looking to get out, and then you could work some kind of deal with them. But sometimes, and particularly during the pandemic, you're able to find a place that the landlord just wants a tenant, and then you go from there.
Hmm. 250 still seems like a lot of money though. Like, is that because you had to buy ovens? Or were you remodeling?
Yeah. The landlord down there wanted a personal guarantee from me, and I am not doing any more personal guarantees, right? So the landlord said, "Well, how about you give me 6 months security rather than two?" All right. So now you have that much money, and it was like 30 something thousand dollars just on that. I had to upgrade some electrical because we use Pizza Master three-phase ovens, and we had to do some upgrade work. We didn't have to do nearly as much in Philly, but
Mhm.
and that's why Philly costs less actually than New Orleans. Um, so there was some of that, and I'm not sure. The construction work we did have to, put in new flooring and all new walls, and I'm not sure where it all went, but it went. I had to buy. Actually, I'm leasing the Pizza Master oven, so I'm not sure where all that money went, but it
Oh,
went. It
okay.
went.
I
Believe
didn't
me, it's
even know
not
you could
that
do
much
that.
money. When you get a brand new restaurant, I mean, I had a brand new Italian dough mixer. It's beautiful. Water filtration system, refrigeration that was all there that I'd have to buy, HVAC that I'd have to buy. It's a good deal.
Okay. Final question before I ask my final question. How much did the first restaurant cost you? The original
That
Paulie Gee's.
that only cost me around 250, 260 because I got these guys to do this work on the cheap. They were still looking to make a name for themselves in the area. They had opened a couple of places and were highly regarded by young people who I want to attract to the restaurant. That was important for me too. I got these guys to design the restaurant, and I thought that they would bring their uh, skinny jean bearded friends to the restaurant, right? Uh, so that was important. But I paid them half in cash and half in equity. Okay, so that helped. That helped save money, right? Um, and I did it on the cheap. I did it on the cheap. You know, I found all kinds of different ways. An electrician wanted $35,000. I found somebody to do it for 10. There was I don't want to get into how they were able to do it, but they did. Okay.
You
You
made it
know,
work, Paulie.
I
Oh
made it
my
work.
goodness.
You know,
Yeah, you had
and
this.
I kept on. I thought it was going to be less, and I kept on. Every time I needed more money, I'd go to somebody, else. But at that point, they saw that it was going to happen, so they wanted to get in on it. So it wasn't that hard to attract investors at that point.